Okay, this is the second part of my video, fabricating and installing a fan shroud for the dual 11-inch SPAL fans on a C3 Corvette. The one I'm installing it on happens to be a 1978. I got everything laid out here. I've got the shroud itself that's been modified by cutting out the opening that I need for my fans to be installed, and that allows the entire radiator core to have air flowing through it when the fans are turned on, and then when you're going down the road, of course. I just cut this out with a jigsaw with a 24 tooth per inch fine saw blade made for thin metal. I have all my holes already drilled and everything for my braces, my aluminum brackets to install. I have all my screws ready, my bolts, and just going to show you how this part goes together. Now we're going to do this primarily just to locate our aluminum rectangular pieces, and then I'll remove the fan, install the shroud, and then after that install the fan because of the limited space that I have. First thing you're going to want to do is install the upper piece, and this is the upper part of the shroud, and you can tell that by the modification that I made here in the lower right hand corner to clear the radiator mount, and that allows the shroud to be moved over to the right as far as possible. And then you'll notice that this opening is also cut so that the fans will move over to the right as far as possible, and that's to clear the suspension parts I was telling you about. We're just going to place this aluminum piece on top and get our screws started. There is a up and a down to these. I removed all of my marking that I had put on here when I cleaned it up. I had to think about which way it goes. The wider rectangular piece does go at the top, like I said, and that helps hide the opening here at the top of the shroud. And we're just going to put these in loosely because we're going to use the fan to actually locate exactly where they go. I put 5 in the top piece and 5 in the bottom. And this is the bottom piece. Same thing here, just start them loosely. I'm using 3/8 inch 1032 button head socket screws to bolt these rectangular pieces onto the shroud. The head of the screw has a low profile and it won't protrude out and hit the radiator. There, it's just loosely installed now. You'll see the screws, and I placed the screws where I could because you've got this cut out here. They're not evenly spaced, but they are put in locations that could make it stronger where the fan is going to mount. And after we do that, I got it faced here towards me at the top of the shroud, facing away from me. In the bottom right hand corner over here, I'm going to place the fans in. I'm putting the fans in where the wiring is going to go to the top because I'm thinking I'm going to put my fan controllers up above this on some kind of a bracket. But this should drop right in. line everything up. I'm using 1/4 by 1 inch long stainless steel bolts, hex head bolts, with a stainless steel flat washer and a stainless steel lock washer above that. And that'll help spread the load out on this plastic fan assembly. I'm going to start each screw loosely at first. Now all the holes you drill in your shroud where your 1032 bolts are coming through go a little bit larger than your 1032 bolt, and that will allow you to position the fan, and if you're a little off on some of your holes, it won't be hard to line things up. Now position the fan. There's not a lot of slop or a lot of movement in it. Just line it up as best you can. If you're really good with your hole positions and your drilling and your tapping, things should line up really well. You take your 7/16 inch wrench and go ahead and snug down the fan to your rectangular aluminum pieces. We'll be taking the fan back off because we're going to install the shroud without the fan to make it a little easier. But we're doing this just to position the aluminum pieces onto the shroud. Just take them down nice and snug. Don't over torque them. Remember, you're going into a plastic fan, and then the aluminum pieces don't take that much torque to tighten them down. Okay, once you got that snug down, we're just going to lift the assembly up like so. We're going to go ahead and tighten down these button head screws. Takes an Allen key. And you may want to apply some anti-seize onto the threads of these since it's going into aluminum, and that may prevent some corrosion and make it easier to get them out in the future if you ever have to take them out again. Go ahead and snug each one down. You can also see what the radiator side of this is going to look like. When I'm holding in this position here, you can see my cutout. It allows most of the fan to be exposed to the entire core of the radiator, which will help pull air across the entire core. It should improve cooling, although I'm not having an overheating problem. I'm doing this primarily to make a cleaner, nicer looking installation, and to reduce the load on the core, because before I had them mounted through the core of the radiator, the fan itself was hanging on the core. Okay, once you have all those snug down, you can put it face down again. And then we're just going to take the bolts back out of the fan. the fan out. There, now we have our assembly. There's the top with the wider 1.5" piece here, the smaller 1.25" piece here. And now I'm going to set this down in the radiator. This lower piece will go between the radiator and the core support. We'll mark and drill some holes in this upper piece here, and we'll nut and bolt the top of this to the very top of the radiator, where there's a flange on the radiator that I'll show you later where it'll be bolted. And on each side, Jegs provided a rubber trim piece to go here that'll help seal it onto the core of the radiator and probably also keep it from rubbing against the radiator core and making it leak. So I'll make another video with this piece here installed and showing you how the fans are going to be installed on the radiator.